Where do the fancy fridges come into the eventual robot uprising?
They don't let you, let me see, they don't let you open the door, maybe? I don't know if they
They
control
could
the
starve
latch.
you
Do they have a lock? Yeah, they could.
Yeah. They could be like you out. They could, they could spoil all your food.
Yeah.
They could go into like a religious celebration like mode, like, oh, it's Lent, you can't bring the meat out on Friday. Or it could be like, it's Ramadan, sun's not down yet, bro. You can't open this fridge.
I was thinking it could just freeze you.
Just freeze you.
Like freeze powers.
Despicable Me sort of freeze
Kind
gun
of.
happening. Yeah. Oh,
Where do they
God.
fall? Are they foot soldiers? Are they spy? Oh, they could be spies.
They're definitely spies.
Everything's a spy.
Yeah.
The light bulbs are spies.
That's true. The light bulbs are listening. That's why they won't turn off.
Young Junk!
All right, ready for a healthy dose of being pretentious as well as being filled with rage, because that's what the algorithm said. Welcome to Tubby Talk, where we ask, what if Pac-Man was the villain again? And we also introduce ourselves as the pretentious art snob. And the guy who knows everything about McDonald's ice cream. We've been watching your comments, and we're going to get into it with another rage-filled episode where we are going to discuss smart or dumb appliances and which ones we prefer.
Yeah, I got a lot to say on this topic, and I know I've gone off in the past, but like, this wasn't even my plan.
Yeah.
But Steve brought up something. Tell me about your experience.
Don't say it wasn't your plan when you're the one that mentioned this to me earlier.
Well, he is
on
the
the walk
pretentious
down
art
here.
snob.
I mean, yeah. So, it first started, I was in a Home Depot the other day. I walked past the refrigeration section, as you do in Home Depot, and I just saw what looked like a giant phone stuck to a fridge. And I was like, what kind of stupid advertising thing? And then I realized it's part of the fridge. One door of the fridge was a screen.
Yeah.
And I could not think of any use for it beyond posting menus, which doesn't need a giant screen, or watching TikToks to keep your kids entertained while you're cooking dinner, which is dystopian to me.
It's very dystopian. And the only thing, like, I could kind of see, like, oh, well, maybe it could show you a feed of what's in there. And maybe if you use, not language processing, but image processing, you can tell what's in there, and then you can update your grocery list in real time. This is the future. But no.
It doesn't even do that.
It doesn't do that.
It's definitely a TikTok fridge. That didn't even hit me until you said it just then.
Yeah, like the
That is
form factor of
absolutely
it
what
is
it
the
is.
same as my standard phone
Oh my
screen.
God.
It's a vertical video screen.
We could be on the fridge.
Yeah.
As a YouTube short.
We could be ranting about Pac-Man.
That's what we do.
As you're reaching for a beer to listen to us rant about more Pac-Man. Here on Young Junk.
So this is crazy. So yeah, you got an app you got to connect to. And it's showing you what's in there.
There's a camera on you can use your phone to see what's in your fridge. You can't use the screen to see what's in your fridge.
But I know I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can swipe to see what is on the other side.
You know what else does that? A pane of glass.
That's true.
Opening the door. You're in front of the fridge already.
Yeah.
You pull the door open.
No, it's about likes. I need to be able to like something from my fridge.
It's about engagement.
That's right.
You need to engage with that fridge.
Wait, that is absolutely what it's for. There's no other reason.
Yeah, there's no reason to be that big except to watch video on it, because you could do you can see the contents in it. You can leave notes on it. You could look at recipes with like a normal sized, tablet sized like window on your computer.
Yeah, the only
Fridge,
problem
which is already weird. But
yeah, but the only problem is it needs to be double-sided. So you see that lady, how she's putting, like milk and juice on the inside of the fridge. No, I need another screen there so that there's no time.
Right.
No, as I'm opening, I need to be able to continue watching. I can never be without screens.
Yeah,
you could put a projector on the outside of the door, so when you open it, as the door faces the wall, it projects the image. But then you can't see it because the door's in the way. So
This is it, though. You got to put screens on both sides of a hinge.
You see, that is about the largest screen I will tolerate on a fridge.
like that little one there.
Yeah.
Wait. But can I subscribe to Chris's fridge? You could figure that out. Of like how I can see what's in your fridge.
Oh yeah,
with
like,
our fridges talking.
Yeah, because you have to.
do a
your friend.
do a
fridge has to
VPN.
friend my fridge.
Yeah.
and then we have that handshake agreement, and then you can look in and be like, oh man, Chris needs some more purple stuff, some more OJ, some
Purple.
Which is why I subscribe to Fridge Frack, where you can just look in people's fridges. That's a show in itself.
This sounds.
I think Men's Health does it. What's in my fridge? What's in my gym?
Yeah.
So this is obviously just people throwing crap onto fridges to sell their fridge.
Whoa! Look at that.
There's so many doors on that fridge.
Oh,
The
it
double
does
door.
have
So
the
the
glass.
outside door is food showcase.
See, This is when people are like, you know what we're doing? We're innovating.
No, we're not.
This is just throwing stuff out there to sell more stuff. That isn't. What problems are we solving? That's when technology comes out and people are like, look at this cool new technology. Isn't it going to change the world? I'm like, okay, yeah. What problem is it solving? And if they don't have a good answer for that right away, no, it's not good technology.
Can't it just be fun?
It can.
I'm the hopeful one.
Yeah.
A screen could be fun.
Yes.
A screen that's the size of a fridge door is beyond fun.
No, if you could have a game that goes from fridge to fridge based on what the items are in the fridge, that could be fun. Like if it's like you gotta always have
So like head-to-head competitive eating?
yes, or like you always have to have a 6-pack of beer in your fridge. If you don't, I get $10 or something like that. So you get Venmo involved as well.
No, if you don't, then your friends set your fridge 10 degrees higher.
See,
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun.
It's
well, now it sounds really dystopian because, of course, this is sponsored by Budweiser. And it's like, well, if you don't have a Budweiser in your fridge, you lose points.
Exactly.
You got to go run to the store, make sure it's in there.
yeah, you don't want your
Well, yeah, no, it should
you
be
want your food to
GoPuff.
cook in the
GoPuff
fridge.
Basically, because we believe in healthy lifestyles with Basically, which is made in Philadelphia, we found out.
It's-
Oh,
It's
nice.
the GoPuff brand.
I didn't know GoPuff had its own house brand.
It's distributed by Go Brands Inc. in Philadelphia, PA.
So
Yeah,
the distributor, yeah.
But it's
GoPuff,
basically
it's our dystopian web startup here in Philly.
Hey, they're local to my
also
neighborhood,
found
so
its way onto every show.
I'm not going to hate
we
on
have
but
at
so
Young-
much.
Has it really?
Every
Nice.
show we have a Young Chunk, there has been a Basically ad. Basically.
So your move, GoPuff, I know where your headquarters are. Give us some sponsorship.
That's how it works. Money, please, right?
Mona Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, but also like
That's her name.
wait, if your fridge has access to the internet and is truly smart, it could keep itself stocked. And
well,
it could also
you could keep it coming to your house.
yeah, but it could also
I hope it
be
doesn't
like,
keep itself stocked. This is going to let the Amazon driver in to
Yeah.
put the food in your fridge.
come on, let's go. It's the future.
And then he poops everywhere. That's the first
Amazon
thing is-
driver?
Yeah, the Amazon driver's definitely going to poop everywhere.
Not in the toilet.
Not in the toilet, everywhere but the toilet.
I don't want them pooping in my toilet when I'm not there.
Yeah.
You got to get 2 toilets. You get one for you and one for the Amazon guy. This is what's going to happen.
Hey, that's getting fancy now. If I had 2 toilets, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I would keep my fridge filled all the time.
Well, that's what we
Yeah, but you can afford fancy fridge.
we call
I
corporate synergy.
I could or get a second toilet. Which one do I want?
Wait, how is that not what they're all called? Fancy fridges. Smart TV, fancy fridge.
Because fancy fridge makes it sound elitist.
It is elitist.
Yeah, you don't want it marketed as elitist. You want it marketed as something anybody could have for $31.99.
You want to market it as you're not cool unless you have this thing because you can't play fridge wars against your friends
This elevates
who
you
also
above
have these fridge.
your peers.
Well, think about it. You had to get an iPhone because your friends had an iPhone. You got to get this fridge because your friends have the fridge, and it's the only way to share photos anymore. Here's how they can make it better. I got it. Make it a printer. Everyone needs a printer. Nobody has a printer. Printers don't ever work.
Paper or photo printer.
Add a paper photo
You need to
printer
make it
to this
You need
thing.
to make it a food printer. Then you got gold.
No, you push here for water, here for ice, here for printed documents.
For like printing out your favorite TikToks, what's happening?
You got to print the internet.
Print the internet.
Print the internet.
Put it in a binder.
Okay, now there's an idea. Okay, we go on TikTok. We print out all the frames of the TikTok. We turn it into a flip book,
Yeah.
and we sell it in an actual store.
So that's an average of about 23 frames per TikTok. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're trying to make book talk a real thing, a physical, tangible thing, rather.
Well, wait a minute. Actually, it's
Talk
30
book.
it's
TikBook.
most people are going to shoot in 60s, so it's 60 frames per second.
Do
TikTok's
most
30
people shoot
seconds.
TikToks in 60 frames?
Most people shoot in 60 just because they don't know any better.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it looks a little video-y, a little wonky.
I feel for the hard drive space. Ouch.
Yeah, but it's usually like 1080i, to be honest.
It's China's problem.
It is China's problem.
That many more frames have to sort.
There's so many more. It doubles your file size.
How much do you think of that fridge actually costs?
Well, the one I saw earlier, it was $31.99.
$31 and
From Samsung, $31.99.
that's too much.
It was.
Is it?
It was
I don't know.
200 something. It was 200 something a month.
You
for
know
like
what? I've
18
only
months.
bought a house that had a fridge in it. I've never bought a fridge.
Look, I bought a fridge
I'm
10
dead
years.
serious.
Bought a fridge 10 years ago. It was like $900, but it was also scratch and dent.
Yeah, like a normal fridge is supposed to run you around $1,000 in the modern era. So this is,
Triple.
triple that.
And if the screen breaks, it's still a fridge.
If I bought a big
that's
screen
the question.
Yeah, if I bought a big screen fridge and the screen broke.
Screen fridge.
Yeah, big screen fridge.
The episode.
And the screen breaks. I'm not just going to use it as a fridge. I'm going to throw the fridge at Samsung and be like, give me a new screen or a new fridge, jerks.
You know what's going to happen is the firmware goes out of date and it no longer connects to whatever the version of Wi-Fi we have is now. The fridge stops working.
I mean,
you got to throw it out.
That's happening with my TV right now.
Just
Yes.
like that we're catering to a Spanish-speaking audience right now. It just changed to English. It just totally ruined my joke.
That's
It's been cycling. It was in French earlier, too.
Oui.
But yeah, any device that needs firmware updates or anything like that, like it's not gonna work in 2 years.
Unless there's a jailbreak option or some way to like upload your own firmware or your own software.
Well, and the problem, I wonder how many models there are of these things because we know the televisions.
many.
There's so many.
Can
Too
you
many.
replace the tablet? That's a question too.
Like not
Just
have a
the tablet.
tablet?
No,
I'm considering the
if it breaks or something, you replace.
Yeah, because you'll take it out and then you'll buy. 5 years ago we made that tablet. We don't make that
There's
tablet. no
probably
more.
some kind of right to repair bullshit where they're going to be like, yeah, you have to go through us, and we're going to tell you it's going to cost $2,000 to replace your tablet thing in your fridge.
I also get it, but what
Or
do
you
you
buy-
think are some basic things this fridge should have, but definitely doesn't because they weren't thinking about it?
Ice maker. There's no room for it.
Yeah.
They had a water dispenser with no ice maker.
Well, I mean, you figure the one thing that thing should do is it
Thermostat.
should probably.
Just everything's always set to 32 because there's no.
Well, the thing it
temperature
should
gauge.
do is it absolutely should analyze every product that's in there and give you the date of when it needs to be thrown out. That would be the smartest fridge.
What they would most likely do is
It
have
definitely
you
doesn't do that.
Yeah, they most likely have you scan everything in when you put it in the fridge, and then it would know from the barcode and
I
possibly.
want it to wake me up and tell me your milk has spoiled.
You know how hard it is to get somebody to put things away in a fridge in the first place? Like, you're gonna put it away and hold it up to the camera so it can read the date and then put it in. No one's doing that. No one's getting their kids to do that.
Well, camera needs to read it once. To be fair,
yeah, once every time you buy it.
every time you buy it. Yeah.
This is great for a studio apartment because then your TV is your fridge.
If you're living in a studio apartment and you got a TV on your,
Wait
it
a
would be
minute.
economical for
We gotta
space.
get
You're
one of
right.
these.
You got a point.
No, we got to get one of these and we got to see if Chris can turn it into a gaming system. Why isn't this the Tubby Robot fridges?
Well,
Because the whole staff would be playing games and stuff would be like melting.
Also, we don't live in front of our fridges.
right, that's the thing. Like, you would have to, if you did set up your living room so that you were staring at your fridge all the time, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then it's all vertically aligned, right? So then,
So you got to get 3 of them.
yeah.
You got to link them.
Oh no, this is getting worse.
So fancy fridge
Hisense is getting into the game.
is a thing, but what is your hatred of them?
They're superfluous. They're expensive. They are easily obsoletable.
yeah.
That's most of my issue with it.
It connects to the internet. And the more things connect, so I'm a huge tech guy. I have run Cat 6 in my house. I have like 40 ports throughout my house, every floor, every room. The fewer things that are connected to the internet in my house, the better my life is. I have come to realize I went the wrong way. You get to things like light bulbs. Each individual light bulb is connecting to it, and it's like, oh no, you got to update the firmware on your light bulbs. Bummer, man.
Actually, these light bulbs do have firmware. Yeah, you're right.
Mine do too. And this, I update the firmware, and now the light bulb will not turn off. It's supposed to turn on and off with sunset and sundown, and now it just is always on. Now, mine's been on for like 5 years. And I didn't know LEDs lasted that long, so I'm letting it rock. But
Light bulb has one job: turn off and turn on. If you can't handle that, you're not a light bulb.
there have been light sensor light bulbs for decades. This one doesn't even need a light sensor. It just tells the time, and at sundown, local time, it's supposed to turn it on. It just stopped.
It's just on.
It's been on for the last 5 years. Since COVID, it's been on constantly. Even if I unplug the wall socket, it just stays on.
It's like, why are my electric again? These things are supposed to like bring your electric bills down. Like, oh, it's smart when you're out of the room. Like, we'll turn it off. We'll make it more
to be
efficient
fair-
when it works.
But to be fair, it is an LED bulb, so it's costing me like $1 a decade to run it. But
It is.
I could pay less if it turns off properly.
It is wildly pretentious to have that option not be a piece of glass, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Wildly pretentious to have a screen that shows you the thing inside the door, meaning you can't be bothered to open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you,
Which I can't be bothered to open the
I don't know
door.
if you've been into a Walgreens lately, but their freezers are just screens Like dumb screens,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
They just list they have pictures of like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and whatever.
Well, so Walgreens, my wife was
It's
telling
not
me
even
about this
indicative, though.
recently. They invested heavily in this company that makes these basically merchandisers that have screens on the outside. But they signed up. I think they have 2 more years left on the contract. But they decided they hate it. People don't buy things because the things are made to show ads, and they show ads of things that aren't in there. And so people are walking past, and they're like, "Well, all right, I want to see what's in the fridge." You got to open it, and
Well, that's what these are. These are going to be ad machines.
yes,
It's
well,
not
that's the only reason they're there.
You know what it should be? It should flip over to like a teenage girl who's like, ew, you don't even have Fanta. Gross. And it just like talks to you like that all day until you know what? Yeah, these are great. I want all my clients to have one, and I want to show them YouTube videos that they should be making.
Yeah.
You should be in the studio right now. Why aren't you recording right now?
Yeah, so you're getting peer pressured by your fridge.
Yeah.
Right. It's good.
I want to be the face of refrigerators.
It's just Terry's.
I mean,
That's the app, Fridge Face.
I mean, especially if you're like some kind of like health influencer or fitness influencer, just you show up. Yeah, what are you doing? Don't go back in there for that second omelet.
That doesn't look like beet juice.
Yeah, it can shit talk you
Yeah.
when you're putting stuff in.
So you're getting fat shamed by your fridge now.
Fridge fat shaming will be the future.
It's like, are you sure you want to do that, chunk-a-lunk? Is that what you want your fridge to say to you?
The only
I was
problem
going
with
to say
that is
already
that
exists, but I
doesn't.
think that's from a TV show. That sounds like a 30 Rock product.
Well, the only problem with that is that doesn't sell more Coca-Cola. So it would be the opposite because Coca-Cola is going to be Coca-Cola. Remember the Coca-Cola fridges? Tangent. Do you remember those?
What do you mean,
They
like,
were like
Oh,
big,
old school
red,
ones. Red
cool. They were the best. Can I see one? I want a dumb Coca-Cola fridge. I don't want a fancy fridge.
What if you had a fancy fridge, but there's a full 4-door screen and it showed the Coca-Cola classic fridge
Yeah,
on the screen? How
Are
would
the
that work?
polar bears and Santa in there?
They'll sometimes show up and open the fridge door.
Yeah.
Like that, like the old
I
school.
wasn't thinking of that,
No.
but that's awesome.
like that's a little more authentic.
Like at that old gas station in the 50s.
I'm thinking like that one, that red one.
Oh yeah. Like more like you see that at a Domino's pizza.
Pepsi fridge with Coca-Cola in it, blasted. You ever seen that? That's one of my favorite vines ever. It's a little kid in Australia. He's like, Pepsi glass, Coca-Cola. I don't give a damn.
We also, you just dated yourself. That sentence. Have you ever? One of my
Vine.
favorite vines of all time.
Yeah. If I hit it big, I'm bringing Vine back.
Yeah. I think it's preferable what we got now, probably.
Vine missed its shot with the whole TikTok debacle, banning debacle, because they should have been ready with Vine as soon as that was announced.
They were acquired. I'm not sure who bought them, but somebody
I
got
thought
them.
Yeah, with
Twitter did, but
peanuts, and they shut it
I don't
down.
remember anymore.
Like
It was peanuts.
they weren't sold for very much.
Oh,
When
they were selling for pots.
they were ahead of their time.
they were ahead of their time. Yeah, they a little too quick for the zeitgeist there.
Where do the fancy fridges come into the eventual robot uprising?
They don't let you. Let me see. They don't let you open the door. Maybe I don't know if
dude,
they
they could
control the
starve
latch.
you
Do they have a lock? Yeah, they could.
Yeah, they could be like you out. They could they could spoil all your food.
Yeah.
They could go into like a religious celebration like mode, like, oh, it's Lent, you can't bring the meat out on Friday. Or it could be like, it's Ramadan, sun's not down yet, bro. You can't open this fridge.
I was thinking it could just freeze you.
Just freeze you.
Like freeze powers.
Despicable Me sort of freeze
Kind
gun
of.
happening. Yeah.
Where do they fall? Are they foot soldiers? Are they spy? Oh, they could be spies.
They're definitely spies.
Everything's a spy.
Yeah.
The light bulbs are spies.
It's true. The light bulbs are listening. That's why they won't turn off.
And it legit, like,
I mean, this is on my front porch, so that's great. If anybody intrudes, at least there'll be a recording at Wemo HQ.
that's the other thing that bugs me because, like, they're like, oh, it's power savings. This is an LED bulb, but connecting to Wi-Fi all the time uses a lot of power. More power than a light bulb, technically. Like, you ever turn like the Wi-Fi on any portable device? Like, it sucks it dry much faster.
What else could a fridge be? If it's your
Crushinator is the
entertainment
first thing that comes to
system.
mind.
It is not a shelter from a nuclear attack.
Okay, Indy.
It is not a plaything, children.
I mean, it could. They're never going to do this, but like useful things would be like, hey, here's a recipe you could make with all the stuff you got in there.
Yep.
Check it out. This is only going to kill you this much. Not that much. You haven't drank enough water today. 8 glasses, my friend. You're only up to 6.5.
I was thinking more like if someone breaks in your home, the fridge drops out all the food and then encapsulates the robber and could be used as a security system.
You're giving the
and then
fridge,
that mirror, that screen will show you, robber captured.
Dead robber.
but that's even worse than like a lock on the door that it could control, the AI could control. That's giving your fridge doors autonomy.
Was there a fridge in the Brave Little Toaster?
No, there's bread in the Brave Little Toaster.
Bread.
He's a toaster. Fridge can't fit in there.
Dang it, Steve.
Can you type in what's it called when like a thing is
Anthropomorphic.
anthropomorphic fridge?
We were talking. Chris did make a joke earlier. We were talking about the fridge thing, and he's like, "Yeah, what if there's a toaster with a screen on it? What's it going to show you on this toaster screen?
Yeah.
Like just the bread toasting, or are you going to get like ads for bagels?
Gonna show you. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got Lender's bagels or you got nothing.
AI smart fridge shames your dietary choices. Is AI bad? This isn't what I was thinking, but this is kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah. The thing is, the fridge isn't even the most egregious. Like, the fridge is pretty bad. You don't need a television on your
I'm
fridge.
pretty sure I've seen one on an oven before.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I was having a
An oven
nightmare.
could kill you.
I feel like I've seen one in an oven, but that might have been a nightmare.
Yeah, an oven can just turn itself into a bomb.
That's crazy. Of course, this is a guy is turning on an LP,
Yeah.
which is the least smart thing, which is great. So my internet
Vinyl nerd.
was out for the last day, and it was really pleasant. I was like, this is great. Verizon, take your sweet time. My wife was furious, but I was actually like, hey, it's kind of like roughing it. I put on some vinyl. I still cooked dinner and had all that stuff, but like didn't have a thing I felt like I had to check. I don't have to check nothing. There's no email to check.
That is what joy is now.
Yeah.
There is no greater joy than not feeling you're late for something, missing something, or missed a notification. And we all have to respond to notifications. Like we don't have live.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Try to organize your life so that you don't, so you're happy. But so you feel a slave to the notifications.
Yes, I've gotten pretty good about when I'm open to notifications. Like I'm typically not open to notifications before noon, but I don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You, on the other hand.
Yeah. No notifications in my life.
How?
You're not texting them there in school.
I grew up with no notification. My parents didn't have notifications. Like, what do you need it for?
He actually turned off like any audible notifications for his text messages.
Well, when a fancy fridge steals one of your kids, you're going to wish you checked the notification, but you get the notification from the fridge.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been told that I was going to get abducted and I was going to get taken away. And all the kids are going to get abducted by all the creepy men in vans. This has yet to happen. I've yet to be abducted by a creepy man in a van. Until it happens, they don't... Child molesters aren't real. I'm saying it here.
Hot take.
Hot take.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. But at the same time, yeah. Have you ever gotten candy from a person in a van? Or a creepy person that you didn't know?
No.
I haven't.
No.
I wouldn't have taken it, but not because of stranger danger. I don't want candy some random just touched.
Well,
I don't know if they wash their hands.
About like candy from a jar that's all open that someone put their
Or
hands in.
anything. Like,
Well, hey, I am going to accept a nerd's rope from anybody under any
the
circumstance.
first time I got a butterscotch from an old person, I never trusted people and give me candy, stranger give me candy again. Because butterscotch is gross.
All it takes is one when you're a kid. You get one bad experience, you're done.
One butterscotch.
Butterscotch, licorice, garbage.
But yeah,
Very bad kid bait.
so my eldest is turning 13 in a couple months. She's not gonna go out there in the world with a phone like that. Like she has there's a smartphone that she has at home that only connects to the Wi-Fi.
That's smart.
And it doesn't do anything else. And so it stays at home. It's kind of like the landline for her, just so she can text and call friends on occasion. But it's not part of her life.
Yeah.
And I feel like most kids it is, and a lot of her friends it is.
Most adults it is.
Yeah, it's kind of, you notice how people are stupider and stupider?
I guess, yes, I have.
Like, working
But
customer
you want
service.
things to be dumb. You want your TVs to be dumb.
Well, I don't want them to do necessarily the thinking. I want them to be disconnected. I want them to be separate systems.
Okay.
That's kind of my whole thing, like encapsulated systems. So if something fails, everything doesn't fail, right? So at the ice cream shop, okay, we had a freezer fail. That sucks. We have another freezer, move it there. But everything else in the shop works.
Yep.
We actually have our POS system. It runs locally. So if the internet goes out, we can't process credit cards. That sucks. But we can still process cash transactions because the POS still works. The server is in the building. It's nice.
That makes sense. I guess the only way we're screwed here, let's see, all of this could run on battery if I needed it to. If you lose internet, we lose some of our ability to do remote control camera, but not really because it's our own, it has its own...
Like local network?
It can generate its own.
Wow.
It's currently, everything's running in client mode, so everything is on the Wi-Fi here. But if that went down, that computer could still connect to these cameras' Wi-Fi. We couldn't stream unless I hooked a phone up to it. Now I could do it. If we totally ran out of everything, it would take some doing. I'd have to go get some batteries, which we have. But yeah, I could run this.
I'm kind of surprised those... Do they also use Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi is better, or they don't have Bluetooth controlled, remote control?
So these are Kessler Crane systems, and the cameras are separate from the devices that that pan and tilt.
So the cameras are still pretty dumb.
Like cameras are Bluetooth.
Yeah, but they're Bluetooth, but they don't have... Do they have an OS on them? Do they have... They do.
They do.
So is this a pain in the butt sometimes? Or is this good?
I'll tell you when it's a pain in the butt. So I love scratch and dent because I'm always convinced that I can take them to Matt up the street or call you and somehow figure out a way to get a device fixed. So there's one of these cameras where the screen doesn't work. And that's a pain because there's no actual physical button to get into the place you need to like reset something in a menu. But if you can get into it via Bluetooth, you can get to all the menus. So what I did is I brought it to the shop and I said, pull the guts out of here and put them in here so that I can turn the Bluetooth on.
Yeah.
And then undo it. And now I can control the camera that has broken pieces via Bluetooth. But if I ever wanted to do an update or something, I'd have to pull the guts out of another one, reconnect it and whatnot because it's a peripheral done. But saved me a couple $100, which was great.
Yeah, and that's a cool solution.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, okay, I have a lane. Smart devices remove some of the figuring it out that we always had to do that I think is actually kind of enjoyable.
Yeah, some of the manual, like
Like when you had to like analog some
Monitor
stuff together to make it
yeah.
work,
Or
you lose that with it being too smart. Like I enjoyed figuring out how am I going to get YouTube on this regular TV?
Now it's just built into the firmware of the TV with an app. Yeah.
But the problem with it also is once they stop updating the firmware for this and YouTube changes, it doesn't work. And that happens pretty fast. I've had like relatives who have smart TVs they bought like, 5 years ago. Oh, YouTube is no longer supported on this thing. Netflix is no longer supported on this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, you can't use it, which is awful. So especially if that's what you use it for. Like what I do mostly is watch Netflix on this, and now I can't. I guess it's trash now, right? That sucks.
The march of time. Well, you could always watch Netflix on your fridge.
Yeah, until, for the next 5 years maybe.
What are other smart devices that bother you?
Oh, I got some. The one that pissed me off the most in my life.
Yeah.
I bought a meat thermometer. And I was like, I want to cook steak down the shore.
Yeah.
I need a meat thermometer. And the thing, I took it out of the box, and the first thing is like no instructions, one sheet of paper. Install the app so you can use your meat thermometer. I was like, it's a meat thermometer. You tell me the temperature of the probe. That's all I need is a number.
To be fair, because I have the same model, it doesn't have a temperature gauge on it, so you have to connect it to your phone to see what temperature it's at.
There was no other option sold. This was the only thing that was being sold at the store at the time, and I needed to tell. So I was like, angrily installing this thing, and it was like, oh, well, you need to update your OS because it's not old enough. It's too old.
And this is something you bought at an Acme down the shore?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it says a Weber brand meat probe, temperature probe. You put it in the meat, and it Bluetooths it to your phone to tell you what the temperature is. So you don't have to be standing next to your grill sticking a thermometer in.
But that's part of the fun.
And you also don't have to
you got to push.
Yeah, you also don't have to open the lid. I guess the main benefit is you don't have to open the lid to check the temperature.
Do you guys know the hand rule?
Sticks out.
No, what's the hand rule?
Okay, the hand rule when you're cooking a steak is 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you see this? Here, do it with me. So take your pointer finger and put it into the ball of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's rare. Now use the second finger. That's medium rare. And then the third finger, That's well done.
Oh, you mean
And then the pressure
Yeah.
is extremely well done. So this, if it feels like that on the meat, you can determine whether it's rare, medium rare,
This works for you.
all the time.
That's great.
That's how I roll.
How are you trying to cook it?
Medium rare.
Okay.
Medium rare to rare.
my preferred way as well.
Usually I'll cook it rare, and then I'll take it out and be like, that's a little too rare. And then I'll have to figure out my way in.
But then, of course,
But a smart meat thermometer would help me.
see, the much smart meat thermometer then it's like, well, what type of meat do you have? What things are you doing? It's like, I know the temperature I need. Just let me read it. And then it's like, no. You got to pick what recipe you're using, what type of meat, what the thickness is.
Oh, okay. I can get behind that.
I didn't have all that. It just showed me the temperature.
Yeah. Well, good.
I guess I either skip that or there's some way to bypass it because I definitely don't remember seeing all that.
I hate processes and procedures on devices that don't need them. Of like
Especially
having a firmware update or an installation issue or a please tell us like this, and this about your personal life
Yeah.
before we can begin.
Well, and
that
a
is
thing like that,
hell.
this thing definitely asked me
demographic
like,
info they want,
oh,
yeah.
this thing needs to access your location. Why?
Yeah.
It's a meat thermometer. Why do you need to access my location?
So I can send you ads via your meat.
Well,
Meat ads.
to play devil's advocate, and once your location probably to determine if you're using it in a place that's not intended to be used.
Like where? Grill on the moon?
Yeah, if you're like in Denmark, they're like, we don't sell these in Denmark. Turn it off, blow it up.
See, that's even scarier.
yeah.
They can just be like, oh, it doesn't work because
Yeah.
we decided for some reason.
No, I'm mostly being facetious about that. It's mostly so they can determine what temperature measurement you use, Celsius or Fahrenheit,
Yeah, but
without asking you Celsius or Fahrenheit, which they could just do. But they want
no, you got to subscribe to that. It's a premium feature.
Well, yeah, but like they also want demographic info, which is why they ask you where you live. Instead of saying, "Do you want Fahrenheit or Celsius?"
The problem is also a lot of these things don't have good offline or like legacy modes. So
No.
say like this app has to call home. It talks to the Weber.com website or whatever. Say Weber goes away and then it tries to call home. It's like, oh, I can't call home. 404. All right, well, I guess your thermometer doesn't work anymore. It kills everything. The device doesn't
I'm
work.
wondering if you have a newer version or a different version than I had, because mine definitely worked just
Locally.
Yeah, locally.
You're gonna
Mine was like, you need the Wi-Fi.
Mine didn't phone home.
You're gonna have to update your thermometer.
Maybe I didn't update my thermometer. You don't have the app on your phone right now, do you?
No. See,
Did anybody catch that, by the way, when he started? He said, it's a meat thermometer.
That's awesome.
That's immediately what I've been thinking about for like the past 5 minutes. It's a meat thermometer. Okay, Nintendo, where you at?
there was another thing that pissed me off. So, all right.
That's what gets the views.
That's what gets the views. It's Christmas lights. We have the competition on Main Street, right? I have one grid that I made by hand. I assembled it and coded it and spliced the wires. Cool. Have another one that I bought for the top part. And that it's called Govee or something like that. And it's some system. And of course, to put anything on it, it's like, well, you got to install this app. It's like,
Dylan, pull up Tubby Robot Christmas lights, by the way. I bet we'll have a picture of it.
yeah, we got some on our site. And it's like, okay, whatever, sure, it makes sense. And I do that the 1 year. The second year, I bring them out. It's the second year we're doing it. I'm like, all right, let me do this. It's like, oh, you got to update the app. I was like, okay. And I'm going through. It's like, now you got to pick the model that you have. And the model we have isn't on the list. Yeah, there's music.
There's a little mute thing on the side.
So this is the custom ones that I built. And the new ones, this is a year before I got the Govies.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, well,
Those were just
it hung on this
suspended
for a
in
while.
front of the marquee.
Yeah,
This year they kept blowing all over the place. It was because it was windy. It was
it was
terrible.
very windy. As the waving Tubby that my wife said was too scary to keep, so we got rid of that one.
I love
was
it.
great. What?
Dylan, on the actual video itself, there's a little like mute button. As much as I love it.
But yeah, so this Govee thing, second year, bring it out. It's like new app. I'm like, whatever. Of course, you got to update it. It's like, pick your model. The model's not in the list. And it's like, they have a link for legacy models. I'm like, it was a year ago. Legacy models, all right, I click it. It's not there either. And they're like, if you have other things, you got to like do some hackery. You got to go on the website and manually grab this USB stick. And I was like, I never wanted to do it in the first place. Like, something you bought a year ago should not be a legacy product, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess I'm playing devil's advocate. You put some horns in my head and call me Al Pacino.
Yeah.
It seems like that's probably just because that model was end of AOLing, end of lifing when you bought it. So it shouldn't be your fault, but you're being potentially penalized for it with the app not working.
I do understand it. I guess the problem, though, is that if the company, let's say, is cloud-based or something like that, and they go beyond it and didn't leave you with a legacy update
solution,
system or a legacy solution, I think that's a problem we're going to see more and more and more of.
I think
a lot of companies are being just abandoned.
I think that's what happened with my TV, like at least the pathway to updating, because it's been giving me problems, and I tried to go into the network and download the latest firmware. I don't think the home port it's calling to exists anymore. And the TV just crashes instead of telling me that because it doesn't know what to do. Because it was programmed to call home to this specific IP address at Samsung, and it no longer exists.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Well,
I shut down
I'll tell you where that's going to be crazy is if eyewear does catch on and your prescription glasses don't function unless you firmware update. That is going to be insane.
because you can't see the firmware update.
Yeah, it's like
buttons because you can't
black.
because your cameras aren't working. Yeah.
Die.
Yeah. Well, that was the other one is that eventually the display screen or your windshield will become a display screen eventually. And eventually that will
Kill people.
yes.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't
When
become that.
if combined with augmented reality.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't become that before there's networked self-driving cars.
Yeah, because if it's doing that and you're driving, that sounds.
That's recipe for.
I want to push for legislation against that right now.
It's recipe for disaster. I want to agree. I'm going to join you on that push.
Nah, not me.
Oh, but
I'll
also-
see what weird stuff happens.
But also, devil's advocate. That's devil's advocate.
Steve Pacino. What are you doing here?
So more cars. If your cars crash up because you
Yeah.
can't drive them because you can't see.
Yeah,
You're not going to. Most people driving the car that crashed, they're not going to not buy another car.
I'm just saying, if your
Unfortunately,
car windshield ends up going like this color, like straight black, you're done.
Yeah, the more software and cloud-based stuff that is on anything is the more error, the points of failure for it. And you see this, people talk about Tesla the most, but they're kind of the easiest punching bags on it because, I don't know, did you listen to the Sunny podcast at all?
Yes.
There's the one whole episode where Glenn Howerton's talking about how his Tesla got stuck because it went out of the parking garage because it was out of like 3G zone or something, and he couldn't get it.
yeah, he couldn't get
turn
signal
on.
to unlock the car with his phone
Oh my God.
because it was in a parking garage.
Oh well, that makes sense. The last episode
Yeah,
of Always
Yeah, the last
Sunny.
episode of Always Sunny was
about
about that experience.
Yeah.
And I love that episode so much. But he just went on and on about like how every step he took didn't work and made him madder and madder and madder.
yeah, and like all the things that customer service were telling him to do were things that are precluded by a car being out of service range because it's in a parking garage.
Yeah.
And eventually he had to get it towed out of the parking garage so he can get customer service to let him start his car. It wasn't even just get it into a signal. They still had to do it from their end.
Yeah. And that sort of stuff is like, there's so many things that can go wrong in the world.
Yeah.
Right? And you just want something that works, ideally. So just think about this. Anything you have is cloud-based. It is talking to a server somewhere else. And when it talks to the server somewhere else, if it relies upon that, as somebody who ran servers, the servers go down. The companies go under. It costs money to run that server.
Yeah, like this
and
should-
the second it's no longer financially viable for a company to run that server, they cut it.
Yeah,
And your thing that calls home is suddenly calling to a brick wall.
Yeah, there should at least be a fail-safe, a manual, if not offline fail-safe for it to not brick.
Yes.
But they don't care about that because they're banking on the up.
Buy
They
a
don't
new
care
one.
about that because they're banking on the upkeep of the internet connectivity.
Yeah. So
There's
like,
a word for that. I forgot. Al Pacino, devil's advocate, Steve, forgot what that's called.
But yeah, basically, like you need some fail-safe mode, and most things don't have that, right? And that drives me nuts. Especially things like televisions, and I love hacking into televisions at hotels. Have you ever done this? You go to a hotel, and like they have a lot of them now have it locked down. Like, oh, you can only see these
Yeah, there's the
channels.
ocean. They have it physically locked down. There's a panel where you can get to the auxiliary USB HDMI ports. They put a physical
Yeah, they
plastic
did.
lock on it.
As I got through one of those once.
But there are codes you can put into the remotes that gets you to service mode. And service mode lets you do all kinds of fun stuff. Like the first thing, they always have like a horrible aspect ratio that's stretched out and it's miserable. And I'm like, well, I want to have that right aspect ratio, but they lock that functionality. All right, let's get into the service menu. Let's fix it. So usually the TV is much nicer by the time I leave.
Yeah, I could have used that because motion smoothing was on.
Yeah.
And I had to watch
off the
old
motion
movies.
smoothing.
And it was so bad with old movies, especially handy cam, like handheld. I was watching Hunger Games. It was unwatchable physically because they had a bunch of handheld cameras, shaky cams.
Yeah, you're a video guy. How do you feel about motion smoothing?
I hate it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, me and Tom Cruise. You remember that?
Yes.
No, I'm not a fan of it, but
Fake frames, man.
but it's not for films. It's not for TV and films. It's for sports and things of that nature. Like it helps certain initiatives and hinders other ones. You know, I think what's gonna be really interesting is I think that sports are going to start looking much, much different than TV shows and movies, like by a long shot. Because I think you'll get some different AI initiatives and things like that where you're not breaking the art form itself. You know, like that. Like there's a limit. There's an upper limit on what a film is, what a TV show is that we're willing to accept.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm willing to accept it for sports because I'm just thinking of the most dystopian thing for me. Along your train of thought is you're watching a football game and everything's rendered in very high quality polygons as opposed to seeing people on the field.
Oh, I don't think they'll do that. I think what I mean is that there's going to be a camera in that baseball soon. Like you throw the baseball and there's a camera in it that knows how to stay straight and you get to watch yourself go into the bat.
I mean, you don't know there's not already a camera in the baseball.
And the fact that there's
What's already
camera on the bat, like all sorts of stuff. There's been cameras on hockey sticks. It looks really cool.
It's bonkers watching hockey now because hockey has ads like around the rink, right? But they replace them on television in the live
ads?
stream.
Yeah.
They're digital, but there's real ones in real life. So you'll see like some shots, the ads will be different, and they'll be like
they haven't
entire
replaced
screens.
them.
Yeah, they replace them.
And sometimes they'll just be green screen.
Yeah. Sometimes, but a lot of the times, like, there's real stuff there in real life, but also they superimpose it, and it's pretty good. Like people, you know, you're thinking about the masking. Then the masking, the auto masking is really good now.
Yeah, it's gotten incredible.
But you don't know what's like. You see a pphoto of like that special moment, like in a game, and then it's different than what you saw on TV because all the ads are there, and they actually put a fake screen on the top. It doesn't exist in real life.
Well, and the other wild experience is eventually there's going to be eyewear to wear at baseball games and at football games and stuff to give you an enhanced experience. I mean, where you can see stats and stuff, and really, it's going to be wild.
I mean, I will say, I was just thinking the other day about Google. What was it called?
Google Glass?
Google Glass, yeah.
Smart glasses.
I was so excited for that to become a thing that could be normalized before I realized I hate AR. But when I thought AR was going to be a cool future, I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have glasses. We could see augmented reality stuff projected from my eyes sometimes.
It's going to
now
be
I think
too
it's just garbage.
Well, I think it's going to be too uncontrollable. Like I want augmented reality, but only something very specific, and I want to be able to trigger it. There's no way they're going to give that to us.
Yeah,
It's going to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Turn it on or turn it off.
Walk around with your stupid
And here's a bunch of
Apple
ads
Apple
and stuff.
VR
Yeah, there's a bunch of ads
visor
unless
on.
you pay for a premium subscription. And
Right.
I think just Ready Player One all over again.
Well,
If you like to see reality, buy these products from these ads or else.
But also, what's kind of cool about that from a Devil Steve kind of way, it would be cool if you could program your glasses to tell you certain things, like look at a person and see their credit score and see how many steps they've taken and other things that are in apps that you can just have with glasses.
Wait, you have an app that can just see people's credit scores?
Well, if you have Credit Karma or something like that.
Yeah, other people's credit scores?
I want glasses so that I can look at a person and see their credit score.
It's honestly not that far away.
I know.
It's something that they've prototyped.
Those will be the sunglasses. Anyone wearing dark sunglasses, those will be the evil ones.
There are a bunch
They'll be
of-
like, don't look at how many steps I got. I only got like 4,000 today.
There are a bunch of kids at one of the tech schools that made something that basically used AR and a real-time camera to grab someone's face, figure out who they were, and grab stuff about them. And then they sat down and had conversations with them about these things. Like, oh, hey, I knew your grandma. Her name was Dolores, right? It's like, oh, yeah. And then you just start going, and it's like, of course you know. Who else would know my grandma was Dolores? The internet knew because it correlated you with this image, with that image, with a high degree of certainty. Nightmare.
But we could use it to our personal gain.
Yeah.
Lots of advantages of just exploiting strangers.
So you're like, see, I don't get got. I gon' get.
That's right. My AR is like, has a YouTube show, doesn't have a YouTube show. Hey, we should talk.
Wait, so which one's the one that has a show or doesn't have a show?
The one who doesn't have a show.
Yeah,
I gotta go sell him a show.
Well, no, you're networking with people with a show.
My glasses said you don't have a show.
You're finding clients for people that don't have a show. You're networking with the ones that do have a show.
You'd be like, oh, I see the engagement on your show is actually pretty low. I could help you with that.
You got to be angrier and or more erudite.
Ooh, and also you're
arrogant.
2 months behind on your mortgage. Maybe I can help you out with that.
Oh, God.
In exchange.
You're going to indecently proposal people?
Yeah.
I'll give you a job where you do things for wages and help you pay your mortgage over time through your payroll, through my payroll system to your bank account.
That's a decent proposal. But yeah, I'd use it for evil.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's lots of fiction it makes fiction better when it's all used for evil.
I don't see how do you not use it for evil? Because everybody's personal information, it's already in there. Like there was an argument like, don't put your information. That argument, that's gone. It's already up there. And even if you didn't put it up, it's up there.
I think the accessibility does change things though, because a lot of it's there. But if you can look at someone and see their credit score and see what the names of their family members are, like immediately.
You don't think Shopify is going to figure that out?
Well, they will, but the thing
they're
is,
going to figure out what's in your fridge because it's connected to Fancy Fridge.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing.
Call back.
And I think Chris was heading towards this direction. Like,
shit.
Like in my view, it's evil. Like the evil comes from the willing action of conglomerating all this information and presenting it to someone who necessarily hasn't asked for it or doesn't need it. So in that situation, like, oh, if you need to know people's credit scores, you're going to find a device or a device or a method to suss that out. Mm-hmm. But the people aggregating that information for you from publicly available sources, they're the one doing the evil act more so than the person asking for it in my morality scale.
But it's not evil if you are a bank.
I think it's evil if you are a bank. Why does a bank need to know who my grandmother is?
No, because they would know that. It makes sense.
They could know that, but like, they don't necessarily know it now, but somebody's asking the bank, hey, what's Steve's grandmother's name?
Yeah, but I'm saying I would be weaponized is not the right word. But
it might be.
I would be, my investment banking team. I would want them to have access to who is signed up for investment bank or not, have it in their glasses. So if they walk into a Starbucks, they have people that they could potentially talk to. And technically they can know that information because it's public information.
Wait, but talk to you about what? Like you want your investment bankers walking around trying to insider trade for you?
No.
Because I would want that if I had money to invest in investment bankers.
No, I mean okay, so
but that might be evil.
Well, I worked in a bank for a little bit. So if you work in a bank, anybody who is a bank who uses that bank, you can see their accounts.
Yeah.
Every sales system says if there's $10,000 in a checking account, you reach out to them. You get their number, it's provided for you. There's no difference of that and an AR system doing that because that information already was coming in legally.
The difference is the collation, right? Because, all right, the bank has all the information on you.
Yep.
But it doesn't know what your grandma's name is. It doesn't know all that stuff.
Doesn't it? It knows your mother's maiden name.
It might.
It can know this stuff. Being able to know it and having or seeking knowledge of it are two different things.
But if they correlate that with an outside source, certainly they could get it very easily. Like they know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's no way that every banker is not going to have a specific set of glasses that says, can I sell this person a money market or can I get this person invested?
Yeah.
Because I can see what's in their checking account right now. That's good.
See, the problem is so many people...
If they bank with you, that would be the thing.
So many people will do it wrong. It's going to be insane. So, and I don't even mean like immoral. I just mean like bad at it.
Yeah.
So every day I get 10 emails from factory companies.
Yeah.
Because the name factory is in our company.
How many screws you need this month?
No, for real. I get things. I get stuff all the time like belt failure getting you down. You got to come check out our belt monitoring solutions for your factory. It's like, you guys did no work. You just like threw in like a search for factory, pulled us up and threw us in a bulk. And that's going to happen because it's so easy and basically free to send that stuff out. So you're just going to be a barrage. So maybe some people will like be this fine-tuned sharks hunting you down to perfectly target you, but 1,000 others aren't. So it's just going to be this noise.
It's funny. I just heard this. Someone was talking about conspiracy theories and that in any conspiracy theory, there is an absence of the idea that some people are just inadequate at what they do and screw up. In every conspiracy theory, everyone had to do their job perfectly, which never happened.
No, have they ever?
It's not real.
They've never worked for the
There's
government.
always fuck ups.
Yeah, like the way I heard it was like, there's no way like X conspiracy theory has gone through like multiple levels of increasing number of people who know about the conspiracy keeping quiet about it.
Yeah.
Like the more involved it is, the more chances there are for people to have blown the whistle, which means it probably didn't happen because nobody's blown the whistle. Or they're very good at keeping people quiet.
Or just being inadequate at their job. It doesn't create that as a possibility of that some people just fucking suck.
Like,
and it's a wild majority.
Oh, yeah.
Someone driving an Area 51 with a panel truck, and suddenly an alien body pops out the back and hit a speed bump. Oops. I'm back in the truck, drive off, hope nobody sees.
I fully believe that happened. I fully believe that.
That an alien government was uncovered?
No, just like I bet there was an alien in someone's truck that he thought was just like a neighbor kid. You know, it's the classic like 3 kids in a trench coat. I fully believe 3 kids in a trench coat have in fact fooled many adults in this life.
Yeah.
That cartoon idea is real.
Vincent Adult Man, yeah.
Yeah.
That was just Vincent, right?
Yeah, Vincent. Jeez.
Oh, was that BoJack Horseman?
Yeah.
One of the best shows of all time.
But yeah.
It's funny, BoJack was actually ahead of its time because the whole thing with him doing it was a Secretariat movie, and he couldn't do it, and he got drunk and went on a bender, and they're like, we'll just finish the movie. We 3D scanned his head, so they just used a CG BoJack the whole time, and he almost won an Oscar for that. And the whole conceit was that we don't really need the actor, we just need the look. And
It's true.
it's really close to that now.
I'd say it's there. You definitely have enough talented people from the past who have already committed their likenesses to studios to start creating great things without them.
So
Now, and one could say it's because they did so many great things during their pre-AI career that we can do this.
I mean, also because movie studios in the past had draconian contracts where they basically owned your likeness in perpetuity.
I own your face.
So like when we start seeing all the Humphrey Bogart movies coming out in 2035, we know why.
you will.
But all the kids will be like, who? Like, why do I care about this?
To the kids, he'll be new to them. They won't
Well,
know
he'll
he's
be
not a real
like,
person.
no, he'll just be a skin in Fortnite. That's how you make things cool. You make him a skin in a game that kids don't even play anymore.
Man.
Sam, play it again.
Oh my God.
Just a gritty.
Everything we're talking about is making me so depressed.
Dylan, does Humphrey Bogart exist in a video game?
Humphrey Bogart in video game.
There's got to be a Casablanca game.
Like a side scroller in NES.
Play it again, Sam. Play it again, Sam.
Bogart and Bacall, video games.
Yeah.
Here's looking at you, kid.
I don't know.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Wow.
You found an untapped market.
If the MGM or United Artists definitely owns his likeness, whichever one he was contracted with.
Do you think so?
Yeah, that back then they had contracts that would literally like we own your image. Like
They definitely have James Dean.
Yeah, well,
Because I think
MGM did because it was
Yeah,
a
like,
great movie
the
ride.
studio
Had
system
Humphrey
thing,
Bogart at the end of Casablanca within MGM Studios, which is now Disney Hollywood Studios.
also, I guess
I love that,
Disney
right.
owns it now. If they kept the same, contracts are in archival form.
The reason they changed the name is because they stopped having a partnership with MGM.
Oh, so I didn't buy them.
No.
Right, okay. Also, because I know MGM's still around because they have a new logo now, which creeps me out. It's like CGI and
They've
like
gone bankrupt a couple of
rotates.
times, but they actually I think Amazon bought them.
MGM
was
is
like,
an
"We'll buy
Amazon
anything."
studio. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll buy the Silmarillion for several $1 billion. Sure.
This is very off topic. I love how at the Oscars they did a memoriam to James Bond films because Amazon bought the rights.
Did they really?
Well, Amazon has full control of the rights, so they did a memoriam for all the Broccoli made Bond movies. They did,
the
a
Broccoli
musical.
family
Yeah, did a
sold.
musical.
And they did a memoriam for that?
Yeah, they like had the
mean, it was
surviving Broccoli
Conan.
family members there, and they did.
So it was a joke.
They did a bunch of songs from classic Bond movies, and had the Broccoli. I forget her name. She's like the Broccoli scion. Like she was there, and they had a send off to James Bond. It's not going anywhere. Except to Amazon.
Well, I guess being sold to Amazon is death, is the implication.
Yeah, they're like, here's an ode to real James Bond. Now we're gonna have Amazon-fied James Bond in the future.
Yeah.
Wait, so James Bond could hand me a Heineken from my fridge?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, from your
Not stirred.
Samsung Amazon Fire fridge, Fire HD fridge.
It's Heineken, right? Is Heineken the brand? It's Heineken and Rolex. There's always Heineken, Rolex, and Jaguar.
Yeah.
I think always.
I definitely know
have
Jaguar
something for
Bond.
Bond.
Well, no, Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
Aston
Sorry.
Martin, not Jaguar. I think it used to be Jaguar, or unless they're the same company now. Because Jaguar's Ford. Aston Martin might be Ford now. But lately it's been Aston Martins and James Bond. It used to be Jaguars.
But yeah, the cross-promotional possibilities are endless.
Thanks to the smart fridge.
The next James Bond is going to be a smart fridge.
Here's a question. Do you have do you have smart lights in your house?
I don't.
Okay. Is that something
I
you,
have these.
is that something you crave in your house? Do you want them to be more
Yeah.
intelligent?
You know what? When I had my house over here, I did have it smartified via Amazon surge protectors.
Okay.
So the smart device
wait,
was the
what?
surge protector.
I didn't know they even did
We
that.
have one of those over there.
Oh, that
But
means
yeah, 'cause you
that means you
can
pay
check
more
into it
than
on your
$20 for a surge protector. That's probably why I don't know about it, because I've never paid more than $20 for a surge protector.
But didn't you ever want to turn something off from your phone?
I've never had that desire.
Not particularly, no. Like the whole reason
But I also never want to touch my phone for any reason.
Well,
So
yeah,
I'm a
that's
student.
true.
Like the whole reason I got the smart light bulb is so I didn't have to remember to turn my porch light on when it got dark, or if I wasn't home, it would turn on automatically.
No, that's
so
cool.
people don't skulk around my house at night. So that it automatically was supposed to turn on and off when sundown, sun up.
Here's a question. Why didn't you just get like the old school motion sensor on it?
So
Because
there,
they never work.
They don't?
Never.
well,
I-
so
that's
so
always
so
had
Does yours work?
My grandparents worked.
like I have one in my back alley that works very well. It's above the garage.
mine do-
But it also
one over
catches
here
but
is
also
more
catches
normal.
raccoons and stray cats.
Yeah.
Which, as a kid, every time I saw somebody that had one of those, a stray cat would run under it and the light would come on every single time, which annoyed me just functionally. Like, it's supposed to catch people, not pets.
Yeah, we had one on the side.
Like, seriously, like, you're not trying to see if a cat was in front of your house. You're trying to see if people are skulking around your porch.
Well, you could just check your Nest camera or your Nest. Do they still make those?
See, and
Ring.
that's
Yeah,
another
Google
thing.
has Nest.
Nest was
Ring it.
bought by Google, and then it was basically kind of shut down by Google. So a lot of those things no longer people invest.
I mean,
in
it's still around. I got a Nest camera.
it's still around, but a lot of the legacy stuff stopped working.
Yeah, they made new stuff they made you buy.
Yes, and people invested thousands of dollars into those. Like, oh, well, I want to Nestify everything. It's like, well, now it's trash.
But like, case more, I have the Nest doorbell to see if people are skulking around in front of my house. I use my phone it gives me alerts to my phone. So no one, somebody comes home, no one the mail gets dropped off. I like having that information. If I didn't have to do it through Nest, if I could do it locally with just over Wi-Fi, it sends me stuff from a local server at my house, I'd rather do that. But I don't have the time or inclination to, I don't have the inclination or willpower to try to set it up right now.
Yeah.
Or knowledge, I should
The
say.
whole
I
thing.
just like that if you're sitting.
I should at
the
some point,
island-
but right now I don't have one.
If you're sitting at the island in front of the fridge and someone shows up in your backyard, you can see and talk to them by continuing to look at the fridge.
So that's one guilty pleasure I have with the Nest camera. I could, if I'm fast enough, catch somebody in front of my house and yell at them. I've only been able to do it once. It worked.
Pirate?
Yeah. And I yelled at them, and the one person dropped the package and left. The other person took it anyway because
Did they flip you the bird?
she guessed correctly that I was not home.
Yeah, because you're talking through the thing. You're probably
I'm like,
not
let go
home.
of my effing package. But she was like, if you were here, you would have came outside and stopped me.
Steve, welcome to our game. Are you actually here?
Yeah, like I was like, dang it. But the other person left because they assumed I was just yelling through. They heard somebody yelling, so they left.
Did you bark like a dog through it?
No, but I was like, go my package, you motherfucker. I'm gonna kick.
See, I still want one of those like cartoon style like cages that drops from the sky on the intruder.
See, I'm cool with like a trapdoor system.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns style.
So you would have a smart trapdoor
See, I don't
because
think.
the image could be grass.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be a screen, an LED screen?
See, I would go more practical. Like it would be a sidewalk slab. It looks like a sidewalk slab on the outside, and then it just drops away.
Well, making a punji pit is illegal in America.
Well, actually, okay. I think smart.
I don't know why I
security-
know that, but you can't make a pit with spikes at the bottom. It's illegal.
Okay.
But
I think you can make a pit. I think you can make a pit with spikes in the middle.
Okay.
but you can have a piece of glass over the spikes, so you think you're gonna die,
You can.
and then you don't.
And then there's
You mean you
lava.
make it a Squid Game? Yeah, if you make it a Squid Game, I'm sure it's fine.
I just watched Squid Game. I like it. It's worth it.
It's not dystopian at all, right?
I feel like I liked it for the.
I like it. I actually
Did you like it for the proper reasons? I guess that's the question.
I think so.
A lot of people did not. And that made me not like. That made me don't tell people I don't like
why
it.
didn't people not like it? Or why?
What wrong
Why did
reasons
people
did
like it for the wrong reason?
I feel like it's like Sunny. Like you could watch it with the knowledge that they're making this to poke fun at these characters, these people they're making fun of, and laughing with them.
Like gambling addicts?
No, kind of more like, hey, here's an example. We're parodying these really horrible people and like let's laugh at how they are.
Here's a dystopian future, and these people are put into a dystopian nightmare, but of their own making. Like in the first season, especially, it's very clear that they did this. They went back to do it. So they like, I have no more sympathy for these people because they put themselves in a situation willingly twice.
Oh, see, I'm worse than you because immediately as soon as they signed the paper of their physical body, I was like, okay, that's it. Have fun.
Oh yeah,
Do whatever you want.
Okay, so yeah, so
I wasn't even considering the fact that at the point where they could get released and then get brought back.
yeah, because like
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
yeah, like they wanted to make sure that you lost all sympathy for them. If you didn't lose it the first time, they were like, now you lose it the second time when they realize I'm going to die, but I still want the money. It's like, okay, well, fuck you.
Well, so it sounds like Terry here is like, well, we really ought to make some of these Squid Games in real life.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, but
if it doesn't exist in Singapore, I would.
It almost
be
certainly
shocked.
exists in some form. The game has been a story trope for 150 years.
Just give Mr.
the most dangerous game.
Mr.
rather.
Beast another year or two. We'll be there. Don't worry.
He already did it.
But he gave someone $10 million.
Apparently, he went broke, according to him. He only has $1 million. Mr. Beast. He did some interview a couple weeks ago. He said he only has $1 million left in the bank.
Yeah, that happens between every video is like, I spent $10 million on this video and I made $11 million and I spent $10 million for the next video.
Yeah.
See, I was assuming he was a better businessman and would have more than $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
and giving away 10.
That's part of why he's endearing. Is literally everything that comes in goes right back out.
Speak for yourself. I mean, if he gets Squid Gamed, I'm all for it.
But make it real and televise it on my fridge.
Yeah, he wants people dying. We want to see the death, the gristle.
I appreciated it like Battle Royale. Some people you were like, oh, I wish I could be in this. I would kill at a Squid Game.
You know what would be awesome?
Those people that didn't enjoy it properly, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what would be awesome would be like extreme hopscotch, where one of those tiles is one of our trapdoor systems we're talking about.
Yeah.
It would have to be. It would have that.
And like if you hit it with 2 feet or 1 foot,
yeah. Oh,
you have to
determine if you fall
determine-
through.
yeah.
But I feel like
it'd be a cool lottery, and then you fall into lava.
You have to give them a failsafe though. Like give them time to move, like a couple seconds, or split seconds of like notification. Like it turns red, get off, or you fall in a
I guess
trap door.
essentially we have
Like,
figured out what a cool use for smart LED systems is, and it's trapdoors.
torture devices.
No, it's trapdoors that blend into where it's like this could be a piece of sidewalk or it could be a trap.
I feel like I'm going to
I like
notice
this.
an LED screen in the ground.
Well, here's the problem.
Essentially, it's a smart rug.
If it's really smart, like it has a camera on you to judge where your point of view is, and it changes
Now we're
accordingly. It does basically point of view estimation, so that no matter where you're looking at it from. Now the thing is, it's glowing probably.
yeah, that's what I'm going to see the glowing property.
You could use some
figure
sort
it
of
out.
e-ink solution for this.
e-ink digital trapdoors.
Yeah, e-ink digital trapdoor.
Well, they don't have a wide color range though. E-ink displays.
You're getting there.
I think we could do it. The question is, should we do it?
Of course.
I think
Coming up 2020, coming up in 2027 on Amazon. Tubby Tubby Talks Tubby Games.
Oh.
Hosted by Terry Leahy.
wait, Tubby Traps.
Tubby traps.
Tubby Traps by Tubby Talk. Tubby Talks Tubby Tap.
Just T's everywhere.
Most of it is just like
TTTT by T8 by TL.
most of it is just like boxes with sticks and like something underneath it that you really want.
But high tech.
There's a Nintendo Switch under there.
The stick is a smart device.
And the edge of the box is a razor blade.
That is also smart.
Speaking of
Smart razors would be
devices,
cool. If I could just say I want a 2 o'clock shadow today.
I mean,
You want a whole robot arm doing it, is what you're saying.
No, I want the thing from the Casper movie. Have you ever seen the Casper movie? You know what I'm talking about? Dylan, pull that up real quick.
a
It's
good
the
cut.
yeah, it's the Casper roller coaster. It's like the Casper getting ready machine.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, that's it. The mysterious machine. And Christina Ricci was a kid, and that's Devin Sawa. But the voice,
Star of Casper.
And nothing else.
I never knew who
Devin
that was.
Sawa?
So I saw a movie called, it was a Christmas
it's in a
zombie
movie called Idle Hands.
Oh, yeah, that was him. I saw a Christmas zombie movie. He was the star of it. And I was like, I don't know this name, but I know the face. And then he has some idle hands.
Okay, this is somehow I'm going to make this work for the episode. Trapdoor, but all of this, none of it is smart. And that's what I love about it. This is an analog system that someone created. This is what I was talking about earlier of like the beauty of an analog system, I think, is so much more interesting than a digital system.
Was this a Tim Burton movie?
Because it's like less precise.
Or just aping Tim Burton as much as possible.
I want shit sparking.
Yeah, so you're on board with this analog world in some degree, like the aesthetics of the analog.
I don't want to lose the analog world. I just want it to be underground. Where we keep the gross-looking things. They go underground.
Oh, no.
See, that
just tear your
toothbrush
lips
is
off.
too big.
It's a car wash.
Here we go. No, it's so his dad could get ready easier. This. Long way to go, but that's what I want.
Oh my God! All of this is a delightful nightmare.
So, but it's not
delightful.
smart.
This is just pure nightmare.
It's not smart. This is all dumb tech.
I'd want this to be smart so that there's a camera that can gauge where my face is before it shaves my cheeks off.
That's how combs work.
And here's your bow tie.
Didn't even fasten it, just laid it there.
I mean,
The smart device would have tied it.
I gotta say, if I got this script, I would have cut. I'd been like, this part of the budget. There's no need. This is about a friendly ghost.
This is expensive.
That's very expensive.
Yeah, this is
that's
not
why I
part of
like
the
it.
cartoon.
Analog was expensive.
This is not part of the classic cartoons of Casper. This is just for movie.
You know, I never noticed at the time. He looks a lot like the big brother of the Pillsbury Doughboy. Like a lot like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I bet if you look
Or
into
the
it, it's
little
probably
brother,
the same
Stay Puft
CGI.
Marshmallow Man.
Well, there weren't many people doing CGI back then. It probably was. And there's Eric Wilder.
Who's Eric Wilder?
Or Eric Idle. He's from Monty Python.
Idol. I was like, Wilder. That's
Billy
I don't know who
Wilder.
that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, Billy Wilder is who you were. He's Scottish. Eric Idle's not no true Scotsman.
So speaking of analog stuff, this is a slight tangent, but the charm of it, we found out today that Trader Joe's, you ever go to those?
Sure.
Every price tag on them is hand drawn. And they have a sign artist. Every store has a local sign artist comes in and does this stuff.
Well, they have a lead artist.
They have a lead artist.
And then they have sign artists who have other responsibilities at Trader Joe's.
But they go through
I.e. the baggers.
They hire people specifically to get that look. Like, we want it to look like someone cared who wrote this.
But then they train
I
the
can
rank
get a computer to do that.
Yeah, well, but
I can code a computer
it
to
doesn't
care.
look as good.
Yeah, but like then they train the rank and file employees by tracing forms to write the Trader Joe's handwritten style.
Yeah.
Wow.
So each store has your own people that are trained in the handwritten style of Trader Joe's that are not artists.
You know what? Fine.
just
We're getting rid of
reproduce it.
Slack. We're writing everything down again.
They're just paper
And
print-
mailing it
They're
to the
they're
people.
printers who are people.
Yeah. Wow. That
Or
was,
people
that was
who are
quite a
printers.
journey, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Just like
folks,
this a mysterious machine.
there's something nice about the analog world, but there's too much good things that digital has done for us to ever go back, I guess.
Digital's great. It's the cloud, the interconnectedness, the updatable firmware. That's
I think it's when smart devices become dumb,
yeah.
you're screwed because they have to be put out to pasture. There's nothing you can do.
Because they're not smart enough, or the companies behind them are not smart enough to think ahead on keeping the infrastructure, if not running, flexible enough for someone else to keep it running.
Like,
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is there is no business-minded person who would even say there is a market for updating your unupdatable machines because it's more cost-effective to go buy a new one.
Yeah. And it makes them more money for customers to buy a new one. They don't want the customer to keep using the old thing they already paid for unless they can charge them for it again.
go out and buy something.
Yes.
Do not repair. Just buy product.
Yeah, buy product.
Then make product cheaper. Make it recyclable or reusable so I can get rid of it and buy a new one and not feel bad that I'm wasting space in the world in a landfill by throwing a TV in it. That kind of works. To get a TV that works better.
Don't think. Play PS5 on refrigerator.
Make PS5 fridge. That would
If Sony
if Sony made a fridge
KFC
with the
made
screen-
that device. Remember the KFC video game console?
No.
Oh, come on. We got to go out on that.
All right. We'll go out on
KFC
that.
made a video
Wait, do
game
you remember?
console.
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
had a nugget warmer.
It was a marketing stunt, of
Well,
course.
obviously.
But it worked.
I don't remember even hearing about that. Or I'll block out of my memory. I'll find out in a second.
Introducing the KF console. That's that third one.
This is a real ad.
KF console.
Here, give us some volume on this.
It's got a power button.
I like the color scheme so far.
The dramatic music really makes it.
Is this a PCS?
With a chicken chamber.
Chicken chamber. Yeah, is this a PC with an oven in it?
Yeah. Cross-platform, bro.
That cooling system has to be terrible. Either
Wait, was it really 4K 120? That's amazing.
That came out in 2020.
Ah! What is that thing? Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of Tubby Talk. We hope you had fun. We are actively listening to your comments and seeing your likes, and we are trying to make a show that's perfect for you. Tubby Talk. Smart, not dumb.
We'll see you guys later.
Don't obsolete me, bro.
Don't obsolete me.
Young John.